Howdy and welcome to Hot Glass Tips number 2. I thought I would do a video on some basics about torches. I've been waiting for Aquaduster. I thought he was going to post a video on torches, but he must be delayed, so in the meantime I'll talk a little bit about them. For borosilicate work, torches that are used usually are fuel gas and oxygen. And fuel gas is either propane or natural gas. I've used both, and currently I'm using natural gas, but I think I really prefer the propane better. It seems to work better with colors and what have you than natural gas. There's two primary types of torches. There's premix and there's surface mix. And my National 3A hand torch is an example of a premix where the gases are mixed back into the torch and are already mixed when they come out the tip and are ignited. One of the really nice advantages to premix torches is they usually have a variety of different tips that you can use with them. These are oxygen, what they call oxy tips. Here's some broader tips. That's only just a few. There's probably another 20 different tips that you can buy for this hand torch. And there are people that use National 3A hand torch for medium to large boral work. They just get a larger tip and open it up and let it go. One of the disadvantages is they're a little bit noisy. They do make a lot of noise. But other than that, they're a fine torch. Now the surface mix torches, this one is a Nortel Miner. It's a real popular little torch, and if you can see the end of it, it has a fixed number of ports. That's the way all surface mixes are. They have a set number of ports. And then this one is the Nortel Mid-Range Plus, and it has the miner burner on top, which is the same as this one, but then a mid-range burner down below it, and two different sets of valves to work either one of those. And you can probably see that that's a fixed number of ports here also, but a lot more of them. The surface mix are much quieter. They're much quieter. That's all right. This one down here too. Now the Nortel Miner will work borosilicate up to about 10 millimeter real well. And I think it's an excellent torch for bead makers and what have you. If you're going to work with rod that's over 10 millimeter, then you probably want to move up to a mid-range or larger, depending on how large you want to go. And then we have triple mix torches such as the GTTs, and I really don't know much about those. They're kind of out of my price range anyway, because I know they're expensive to buy and they're expensive to operate. But that's another brand of torch, another kind of torch, and I think they're a little more complicated to use too. You have to go through some training or go mess the torch up. So anyway, let me talk a little bit to you now about flame chemistry. I don't know if this is going to be really clear enough so you can see it all that well or not, but hopefully you can. There are three flame types, if you will, where the flame chemistry varies. This right now that I have adjusted into my miner is a neutral flame. A neutral flame has a molar equivalent of fuel gas and oxygen, meaning there's no excess oxygen and there's no excess gas. They're both being burned completely, and that's the hottest and cleanest flame you can get. Generally, that's what you'll want to use when you're working with clear, and also some of the colors, really. You'll notice hopefully you can see it clearly enough that the candle, this little inner cone here, is clearly defined. And the flame itself is nice and blue. Now, when you work with different colors, some of the colors are temperature sensitive. You have to read the manufacturer's instructions about the specific color you're working with, of how that glass reacts in a neutral versus a reducing flame versus an oxidizing flame. An oxidizing flame has excess oxygen. I'm just going to crank the oxygen up on this, and that is an oxidizing flame. One of the characteristics of an oxidizing flame is the hissing that you hear. That hissing sound, plus the end of the flame is more feathered than a neutral flame. Now I'm going to reduce the amount of oxygen back to neutral, and then I'm going to keep cutting the oxygen back until there's an excess of gas. Okay? When there's excess gas, that's called a reducing flame. Both the oxidizing flame and the reducing flame are cooler than neutral flame. In this case, for a reducing flame, where did I put my pointer? The candle is fuzzy. I can even see the beginnings of a little yellow streak right down in here where the gas is coming out. And if I reduce it too much, I can even get it to the point where I can smell the excess gas. Anyway, you may want to play with your torch, adjust it to different settings, and learn where your neutral point is and where your oxidizing and reducing points are when you start messing with colored glass, because it does make a significant difference. Anyway, that is it for today, and I hope you find this helpful.